Hold on. Said no sound. All right. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with the sound. Said no sound. Let me check the sound. Bear with me just a moment. That's tough. I can hear you now. Okay, you can hear me now. All right, Most High in Christ. All right. Wow. So let me see. Honor thy mother and father. Honor thy mother and father. This is an important breakdown, which we're going to get into. Important breakdown to know what that means. Extremely important. It's a commandment in the Bible. But if you don't know the precepts for what it means to honor thy mother and father, Christianity can make you believe that honor your mother and father means that you're supposed to go to church with them for Easter Sunday and, buy them pork chops and go and pick them up cigarettes from the drugstore or the corner store or the gas station because that's what they really want. Like, that's not what honor your mother and father is. And it is a commandment, and it is a widely misunderstood commandment, again, which cannot be said enough because the Christian church does not teach what's in the Bible. You understand? There's just no way around it. The Christian church has failed at every area and aspect of teaching what is in the Bible, to the point where everybody went on ahead and made their own Bible, made their own religions, and just decided to say whatever the hell they want to do, God is down with it anyway. You understand? So let's get this. I'm gonna get to your breakdown in just a moment because I need to get that precept in the Apocrypha of what it means to honor mother and father. Honoring your mother and father is a very heavy burden, and then it is an absolute foreign concept because of Christianity. So we're gonna get to Matthew 15 chapter in just a moment. I'm gonna get that precept because that's what I need. Uh-huh. There we go. Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. And where's it start? 27. This 27th chapter is very, very important. Okay. This noise pass. So when you start with Matthew the 15th chapter, it's going to tell you what exactly is going on at this time. So you got Matthew the 15th chapter. It says 15 and 1. It says, then came to Yahushua, which is Jesus Christ's real name in the Hebrew, Yahushua, scribes. Scribes are the ones that write down the notes that follow the religious leaders. Scribes are the reason that you have these records called the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, these were scribes. That's why they're each writing down different excerpts of the exact same event that took place. They're each taking notes. You understand? You got the Bible says at the mouth of two or more witnesses, every word may be established. That's also in the law about two or more witnesses. And the scribes are writing these things down, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They rolling with Christ. They are the disciples. They're keeping records. All right. So the scribes and Pharisees. The Pharisees were the religious leaders, the doctors of the law, the religious leaders at the time, one of the sets of the religious leaders. So you got the note takers, who are the scribes, that roll with the Pharisees, the people writing the notes, and the Pharisees. The Pharisees is capital because that's a title. The scribes is just the people doing their job. You understand? So, which were of Jerusalem. They were in Jerusalem. And then they came to Christ. Now he's asking them again about the conduct of the disciples. And they're asking these questions not because they care about what's actually going on. They don't give a damn what the disciples are saying. They don't care what Christ is saying. They could care less. Their concern is the same reason that most people ask questions to the ISUPK. You go on the channel, you see our videos. The majority of the people who are not in the school that are asking questions or making comments, their job is not to get a better understanding in most places. This is why Christ spoke to them in parables. They camped last week in Virginia. You understand? We were at camp last week. A devil came up and asked a bunch of questions. Like his goal or their goal was to insert their point to discredit what was being brought out that the Lord wanted Israel to understand. All right. Shalom, Makib. Yahweh Shem Shabrak Thumb. Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. All right. So this is what he's saying. They come in to question Christ about the conduct of his disciples. You understand? That's the level of arrogancy. Like, who the hell are they to come up and question the men that God gave the power to heal the sick and raise the dead? They should have shut their goddamn mouth and got in line and given all of their resources and manpower and wealth at the feet of Christ and his men so that we could fix and raise up our nation. But of course, they're not in the truth. They don't have the spirit of the Lord. They don't give a damn about what the Most High wants done. They all have their own agendas to be their own teachers, to have their own positions, to have their name in lights, to have their titles. They would rather have that than every Black, Hispanic, and Native American turn back and serve the Most High, get off of drugs, not die, not go to prison, not be in the streets killing each other, aborting their babies. They would much rather have a title and position because they themselves don't believe in the Most High to begin with. They don't give a damn about the Lord. This is why all throughout the Bible, our people have fallen victim to following these men as opposed to following who the Lord sent. And that's also why when the Lord sent Christ, Christ talked to them in riddles and mysteries and parables, and they never understood anything that he said. And he did that on purpose. All right. So now, did y'all change this color? So like, bear with me just a moment. Why is this damn thing? All right, forget it. So they're coming up to question Christ. First thing they asking, why do thy disciples, why do thy means your, why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? Why they don't behave like the rest of us? You understand? And that's what religious leaders and Christians say when they see the disciples of Christ, which are only in the Isupk. Why y'all talk like that? Why y'all look so militant? Why don't y'all shave y'all face and have a smooth face and get rid of those beards and those braids? Why y'all look so rough and masculine with those hardcore, outfits and spikes and studs? Like, why do y'all do that? Why do you change the tradition? Why don't you come to church? Why don't you talk more about love? I had some brother try to say, well, you should say it this way. You should say it this way. Like, you should shut your goddamn mouth and listen to the men that the Lord set up. People have been listening to everybody else forever, and it hasn't stopped death, murder, rape, robbery, kidnapping, nothing. No one should say anything. They should all come in here. They should sign in for attendance, pay your tithes, get to Commanding General Yohana and do whatever he says, just like you did for the Crystal Man, just like you did for the Miss Cleo selling damn fake tarot card readings, like you did for the Weed Man, the Heroin Man, like you did for everybody else, the military, the Army, the Navy. You changed everything to fit to everyone except for obeying the Most High. Why don't you do that? That's what everybody should do. And of course, they refuse to do this with Christ. So the Sadducees and Pharisees, the scribes, they said, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. They did what they're looking for is them to go and show everyone they're washing their hands and see my hands are clean. You understand? They used to do that a lot in the Catholic Church to make a big show out of everything. When in reality, they don't care about anybody in their church. They don't care. If they did, they would shut the churches down and convert them into damn homeless shelters. But of course, this is what they questioned in Christ. Verse 3, but he answered and said unto them, this was Christ's response, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God, the Most High's commandment, by your tradition? Like, why would you break the Most High's commandments, but you keep your tradition? You understand? You keeping Christmas because it's traditional, and Thanksgiving because it's traditional, and the church giving out crab legs because it's traditional. You understand? And Mother's Day and Father's Day and Easter because it's traditional. You praying to statues, that image of Caesar Borgia, which is traditional. You understand? Bow your heads and close your eyes. That's traditional. It's not biblical. It's not God's traditions. The Lord's traditions is to not have sex with another man's woman. That's his commandments. To not eat pork and crab, to not go to church on Sundays. That's his commandments. You understand? But instead of obeying the Most High, they'll make religious traditions, and saying religious things and having religious traditions are way more important to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans than obeying the Most High. Saying by the blood of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, I'm blessed and covered, I'm highly sanctified, I'm covered in the blood, hallelujah. Those things, saying those things are a part of the traditions. Going to church, wearing an usher outfit, putting on the white slave gloves, you understand? Like those things are part of the tradition. Listening to pastors and preachers, bringing your kids to church knowing it's full of child molesters. Those are traditions, you understand, that are against the Most High, but our people keep them because of these same religious leaders. And Christ cut them when he asked them. Verse 4, for the Most High commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother. Very important. Honor thy father and mother. And he that curseth, what does it mean to curse? Very important. What is a curse? What is a curse? What does it mean to curse? Extremely important to know. That's another one of those biblical words that you must know the definition. If you don't know it, the Bible cannot make sense. Like love, charity, sin, heaven, hell, repentance. Though these are very important. The world, the definition of world, thee, thine, thither. You understand? And it shall come to pass. You must know what these terms and words and phrases mean. Otherwise, the Bible will never make any sense. You'll just be guessing like they do in church, really because they don't care. At this point, if anybody actually wants to learn what's in the Bible, the Lord has sent the Isupk everywhere. And we make it very blatantly clear because the Lord wants it to be clear and without confusion that the Isupk is the home of the truth. And every single question that you've ever wanted to ask God or learn about the Bible, you can ask an actual living, breathing prophet of God that will break it down and explain it to you right out of the scriptures. You understand? So anyone that went somewhere else, that decided to do something else, they did not want to learn God. They didn't want to. They didn't really care. Just like these men don't really care when they're questioning Christ. All right? That's a good question the brother asked. The white gloves, that thing comes from slavery. Black people served. They had something called the field Negro and the house Negro. The field Negro, of course, worked in the field, bigger, stronger, picked cotton, sugar cane, worked the tobacco plantations, farming the crops, everything. That's a field Negro. The house Negro tended to the matters of the house, cooking and cleaning, mopping, making sure the dishes is taken care of, the laundry, taking care of the kids, and breastfeeding and weaning the babies and running the house and making sure that the master feels important and that Miss Laura feels pretty, you understand, and taking care of them and making their life wonderful. That's the house Negro's job. So in the house, your skin, your brown skin was looked at as dirty or filthy. They got tons of things about this. You can look this up. They even made cartoons about it. I think the Watchtower, Jehovah's Witness, made a cartoon about it, talking about how come people with brown skin were cursed by God so that they're not white and nice and shiny, you understand, and they're dirty and filthy and evil. You understand? That's why everything that they try to flip and say is something black is evil, or is dark, or is scary. You understand? Or the monster is in the dark. You understand? Like they painted this narrative, yeah, as a part of their white supremacy to dominate the world. You understand? That's why they put predominantly people that look like them. Real Asians don't look like that. But when you look at the animes and the cartoons and the TV shows, you see the brightest of the bright, whitest of the white looking, because the world has been reshaped in the image of the oppressor. The precept: the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You understand? Job 9:24. The white gloves were there during slavery so that your hand, your dirty brown skin, did not touch the plates and the cups and the silverware that were serving the white people at the dinner table, that was serving the families. They didn't have to look at your dirty brown hand, be near them or their food. They would look at you and they would see a nice white glove to cover up that dirty, ugly brown skin that you were cursed with because you were born to be a slave and God hated you. And that is why we are subjugating and beating and branding and torturing and enslaving you, so that hopefully the filthy darkness of your soul that doesn't feel pain, that's not human, will be converted into Christianity by you serving us. That's what that glove is for. That's what that white glove is about. And that's why they wear it in church as well. It's an old slave tradition. That's why they wear it in church. And Christians wear it because to them race doesn't matter, which by default means another nation of people who do care about their history and their people and their heritage, they will enforce theirs on you because you don't care about yours. That's what the Arabs do. That's what the East Indians do. That's what the Africans, that's what everyone does, because no one gives up their heritage but these 12 tribes. And our religions teach us to do that. So that's just a little bit about the white gloves. All right. It's a bad thing. Hey, no sweat, brother. I in the bar. All right. So now, where are we? We're back with this Matthew. All right. We in Matthew. Honor thy mother and father. I'm still waiting on the answer for that question. I said, honor thy mother and father. Okay. Officer Yagadar said a curse is to ask for God's judgment. No, not me cursing someone, but a curse. You bet you're more on it, but a curse is a punishment. It means to punish. You understand? And punish. You punishing your mother and father to get them back because, oh, that father, he was not there. He was never there for me. It was just me and mommy. That father wasn't there. I'm going to get him back. I'm going to make him pay for what he did to me. I'm going to make him suffer. This is my opportunity to pay him back. There are responsibilities that you, as a son, as a daughter, have to your mother and father. And they're not your responsibilities because of the personal relationship that you developed with your mother and father, or that you did not develop with your mother and father. It is a commandment in the Bible, you understand, like many other commandments in the Bible, to honor your mother and father. If you don't know what that means, which most of our people do not, because of the church not teaching us, it is very difficult to do it if you don't know what you're supposed to do. So we're going to cover that in just a second. Christ is telling them in Matthew 15:4, for the Most High commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth or punisheth his father or mother, let him die the death. Let him die. You cursing and punishing your mother and your father to get your revenge against them. Like, who the hell are you? You understand? Who the hell are you to issue judgment on your mother and your father? You understand? To punish your mother and father, to get back, take revenge against your father, mainly just your father. You understand? Mothers get forgiven for everything. Your mother tell you to go and get an abortion because she don't want to help her teenage daughter take care of the baby. I remember I was talking to a sister. I was dealing with a sister for some time ago when I was early in the truth. I think I was maybe a 500 or something like that. And I'm talking to this sister, and this sister tells me about how her mother told her at 16 to kill her first baby. Her mother said, you need to get an abortion. You don't have a job, and I'm not helping taking care of anybody else. I don't want to take care of you, barely. So you need to go and get this abortion. And her mother talked her into getting an abortion. The first one. The second one, she said she refused to get an abortion and just went out on her own to get the hell away from her evil mother, that Christianity taught her mother to be a conscienceless animal and a monster, to tell her daughter to murder a baby, just like she was, just like her daughter was. You understand? So you don't take your opportunity to get revenge against your mother and father. The law says you're supposed to die for that. Verse 5, which is obviously Yagadar's question, it says, but ye say, whosoever shall say, this is what you say. He's talking to the religious leaders. Now, that's the commandment of the Most High that Christ is quoting in Matthew the 15th and verse 4, which goes to show again how the Christians lie on Christ, and the New Testament only Israelites, whatever the hell that is, lie on Christ, saying that Christ taught you don't have to keep the law. He taught the law was done away with. We only follow Christ. We don't follow the New Testament or the Old Testament. It's all silly. Everything Christ talked about and quoted and what he taught his disciples was from the Old Testament. His life was making the New Testament. You understand? It's just a bunch of confusion, and nobody has a right to teach this Bible outside of the prophets of God and the Isupk. You understand? So now, this is what the religious leaders changed the orders that God gave from the beginning. He says, but ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift. Like if you say to your mother and father, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. Whatever you get by me being your child, it's a gift. Whatever you get, it's a gift. Anything I do for you is a gift. You understand? This is some old arrogant, proud Christian spirit. You understand? And that is the spirit that these evil religious leaders put on our people. Verse 6, and honor not his father or his mother. We're going to get what that means. Very important to know what it means. That's why Christ keeps saying it. He shall be free. Whoever decides not to honor their mother and father, he's free. Thus have you made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. Like you've removed the burden of what God put on these children to honor their mother and father. You have removed it. There is no more burden about representing your mother and father properly. That's why sisters on the street with their whole behind out, their cheeks out, their breasts out, see-through clothing. You understand? Sisters on the street wearing a see-through leotard. You understand? For those of you that don't know, a leotard is underwear. That's not the outfit. Tights are underwear. That's undergarments. A bra is underwear. That's not what you put on outside of your outfit. You understand? That's underwear. You can't go out on the street in public in your underwear. You understand? That is against the Most High. There are laws against that. You are not free to dress however you want. You are not free to expose your naked behind a body wherever you want. If you are a man, you are not free to expose your nakedness wherever you want. You cannot be in public with your shirt off if you are a man or a woman. You understand? Exposing yourself, exposing your behind, your privates, your body, your shirt, your chest. You are not allowed to do that. That is a sin. You understand? I know Christianity, because it is Greco-Roman culture, teaches you that a man should take his shirt off, and that is against the Most High. You are not permitted to do so in public, on the goddamn internet, on Twitter and Facebook. A woman cannot do it. A man cannot do it. That is against the Most High. You understand? So now, here we go. What does it mean to honor thy mother and father? That's what Christ said. Let me know if you got it, because I want to get the breakdown on honor your mother and father and what does it mean. Officer Yagadar, let me know. Now I'm moving on. All right. So let's get honor thy mother and father. What does it mean to honor thy mother and father? These are very important things. And this is where we're going to go to this same chapter we're going to be in. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 7. This is in the Apocrypha. These are the books that the Protestant church removed from the Bible after the death of King James. If you have a 1611, which is the year, that Bible has the Apocrypha in it. It has both the New, the Old Testament, and what is known as the Apocrypha, or hidden books. Because again, the Protestant church removed these books from the Bible. You understand? So if you don't have a 1611 King James Bible, then you must get an Apocrypha as well. All right? There are plenty of apps that have the 1611 and the Apocrypha together. There are plenty of apps that you can get and search and download. It's much easier than it was at first. You had to physically have the book. Now you have access to it online anywhere. You understand? But it's still good to get and keep the books. All right? So honor your mother and father. Okay? We're going to get some more. This Aharon. All right? Most High in Christ. All right? Everybody make sure y'all ready to get up to headquarters. The cookout, the annual cookout, is going to be this Sunday in Marcus Garvey Park, Harlem, New York. You've seen all the advertisements, everything, everywhere. Camp speaking Saturday in Times Square in New York as well. Full week of events. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notifications for this channel that you are watching on. Go through and comment on the videos, like the videos. You understand? Help out. Make sure the algorithm is good and healthy with a fresh supply of interest to make sure that these videos and everything continue going out and continue to be seen. You have to do your part. All right. So now we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, and let's start at way down here. Bear with me just a moment. Strength. Salakia, I don't think that's it. Bear with me just a moment. Forget not to solve. Bear with me just a moment. That's not it. Maybe 17. Look up. If it's understanding fail. The purpose for these laws, statutes, and commandments, again, we cannot say this enough, because no matter how many times we say it, nobody listens to what we say in any damn way. We cannot say it enough. The purpose for the Bible, the purpose for these instructions are rules for his family, are rules to pass down, to continue into your family line from generation to generation. Every area and aspect of your life, these commandments are built in to keep us a nation, to know God, to serve the Most High, to be the children of God, to be perfect and righteous and holy, is to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. And in keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, these things make us a people. They automatically gel and solidify us together and make us a nation. From the dietary laws to the high holy day laws, you understand, to our marriage laws, to civil laws, the laws about money, laws about your land, the laws what you're supposed to do if you are rich and wealthy, the laws about raising your sons and your daughters, and raising and educating your wives and your children, and taking care of your cities and your areas. These things make us a people wherever we are. Once we start to turn back and serve the Most High, it will automatically make us a village. You understand? All right. People always talk about the village. It take a village to raise a child. It take a village. Our village got destroyed by integration, gentrification, and really integration, because you can't gentrify unless you integrate. All right. It's a lot. Let me get there. So now we're going to start Ecclesiasticus chapter 3. Let's just do the chapter. Chapter 3, and let's start at verse 1. This is what it means to honor thy mother, Salakia, honor thy father and mother. That father is the most important. The father carries the seed. The father carries the nation. The father carries the lineage. The men go forth to war. If you remove a man from the house, from the family, from the community, the city falls apart. The home falls apart. The children are destroyed. The women are destroyed. Everyone else can now come and take the resources for themselves if there are no men to guard the nation, the community, the cities, the town, the area, the homes. That's why preachers have robbed black families blind, because women are in charge of all the resources in the black community. And because women are in charge of all the resources, the emotional response that sisters get from the Christian church, they have been taught that that is God. You get high over the music, you start jumping around, you get your blood pressure up. Next thing you know, you're halfway ready to pass out, and you think that's the Spirit of God. Somebody sings the music good enough, you start to feel sad and happy, you act a damn fool, you think that's the Spirit of God. Someone with a slick suit and a smooth face can spit game and say words and this and that, and God is blessed and blessing God and talk a certain way, you hook, line, and sinker. Bill Clinton did it. Obama did it. Old man Biden tried to do it. Kamala Harris tried to do it. Any gamer can game you up to rob you. That's what the serpent did to Eve in the Garden of Eden. You understand? Eve was in paradise. You understand me? Eve didn't have to work a 9 to 5, a 6 to 10. She didn't have to do no taxes. She didn't need to get her nails done or get her feet scrubbed or her hand taken care of. She didn't have no split ends to worry about, have to keep oiling and moisturizing her hair. She didn't have to deal with none of that. Sunburn, none of that. She was in paradise. All she had to do was help Adam. The serpent came to Eve and told her there was something better than you being in paradise with no job. You could be a diva. You could be just like God. You could be boss lady queen. You serving Adam. God knows that if you find this out, they'll be looking up to you. You'll be the queen, diva, boss lady. And that's what he told Eve. And then he gave Eve some knowledge and information. And then Eve went over time and got Adam to follow her and stop obeying the Most High. Next thing you know, one of her sons got murdered. The other son became a murderer. Her and her husband got evicted. And now they got to go out and get a job and work to live and survive. All within one chapter in Genesis, very beginning of the Bible. You understand? Which is why it is so imperative that you honor your father and mother, because this is how we start to fix things amongst our people. So much is out of order and broken and being done wrong that these laws in the Bible are not based on what you think and feel. This is how things get fixed back right. Just like if you break a bone, a doctor has to go and reset that finger so it'll get back right. Got to reset that knee. Got to make sure that you wrap that arm up so it can grow back in the proper place. Might need to be popped back into the socket. It might be some pain for a time, you understand? But it is important for the overall health of the body that these steps be followed. So now we're going to get, what does it mean to honor thy mother? Honor, I keep saying mother. Honor thy father and mother. So let's start in Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 and verse 1. You understand? Ecclesiasticus 3 and 1. This is wisdom that a father is giving to his son. Because of our families and our cities are destroyed, the Lord had already built into our nation a way for your son, if you're a single mother or a sister or even a brother who was raised without a father, giving you the desperately needed wisdom to survive and navigate in our oppressor society that he has destroyed our people. The Lord gave his wisdom and knowledge to the prophets and had his wise sayings written down, his prophecies, his orders, his commandments, and men with the Spirit of God that he told them to write words from the Lord so that a good father could give this knowledge to his son, so that even if things are broken, his son will have a record of instructions on how to get things back together. And right now, these are the records that it may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to get in here and learn how to put things back in order. The LGBTQ don't give a damn if you one of them or not. They pushing up on you, your job, your children, your rights, your ability to type on the internet, your ability to say what's right, what's wrong. Your little girl won't be able to do women's sports or ballet or gymnastics because the judges are going to have an incentive to give this little boy pretending to be a girl the trophy, no matter how hard your daughter works, no matter how beautiful you try to make yourself as a woman. They gave the woman of the year to some 6-foot nigga that won the Olympics. What's his name? The gigantic, he called himself Caitlyn something. What was his name? One of them Kardashian family people. Bruce Jenner. Well, he decided he put on a push-up bra and a pair of pumps. And now this man who was the top tennis player back in the 80s, guess what? He's the #1 woman on the planet. All your menstrual cycle and bleeding and suffering and cramps and baby delivery and all your woman pains and problems, some man who doesn't have to deal with any of that, he get the full benefits and the trophy that's supposed to go to you because you're a woman. Like, it might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to get in here and join the force and do your part to fix it. And these rules are how we fix it. Too many of our people believe it is some politician's responsibility to fix your city, your neighborhood. It's the police responsibility to come and fix your community, to police your bad kids and your inability to make a good, successful relationship that you in the hallway fighting and shooting at each other every time there's a damn holiday for America. That's not the police and the politicians' responsibility. It is your responsibility. Every mother, every aunt, every sister, every brother, every wife, every grandma, it is all of our people's responsibility. That's what it means to serve the Lord. Not pray about it and be a prayer warrior. You understand? A Christian's prayers don't go to God anyway. Your prayers are full of pork and weed and integration and God bless America. The Lord don't hear those prayers. A prayer from a sinner goes nowhere to God. Righteous men have to pray for sinners. You understand? Then righteous men have to teach sinners to not sin so that the Lord will hear their prayers. You understand? It's always been like that since the days of Adam, the days of Enoch, the days of Noah, the days of Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Samuel, Ezra, Nehemiah, Christ, Mattathias. It has always been that way. You understand? So, back to honor thy mother and father, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter. Listen to what I'm saying, children, and do what I say after I tell you, that ye may be safe. You understand? Do this that you will be safe. Right now, are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American children safe? Type into me. Aharon, Ana, Yagadar, Yarash, Mataza, Korah. You understand? Are Black and Kazakia, who else in here? Shemaga Bar, Kalsapar. Are Black, Hispanic, and Native American children safe right now? Are they safe? Are they safe to go to school? Are they safe to catch the bus? Are they safe to walk home from school with their children? They safe? Mataza Korah said they're not safe. Yagadar said they're not safe. Aharon said, no, sir, they're not safe. They're not safe? You mean they getting kidnapped on their way going home to and from school? There's hundreds of thousands of missing little black girls Native Americans and Latino sisters all across America? Is that what you're saying? They getting drugged and abused at the parties. They're going to learn about God in church, and all of the preachers abusing them. It's such a problem. Maryland has commercials. If you've been on Instagram, Maryland has so many commercials that are talking about how much child molestation is going on at these schools and detention centers, that they have commercials running on social media like Popeyes and McDonald's saying, just tell us, we'll make sure you get some money. It's out of hand. This is the highest in the nation. And like, our children are not safe. Do you know that there are things that you as a parent, or that you, when you were a child, were supposed to have been taught by your parents, who was supposed to have been taught by their parents, who was supposed to have learned from the religious leaders to make sure that you stayed safe, so that the future generations of our children would be safe? This is what the Lord is teaching right now. You understand? So let's get it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, for the Lord, the Most High, have given the father, the daddy, honor over the children. Honor over the children. Meaning the father has honor over the children. I know you see those cute little faces and the no teeth and the big smiles and so precious, and my baby, and that's my son, that's my boy. The Lord wants you to give more honor to that father. You understand? The Lord said, I've given honor over the children. All right. This is what it says in the Bible. We read it. Honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Just like it said in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of Christ is the Most High, and the head of the woman is the man. This is an order. It's all throughout the Bible. This is a precept directly tying into what Paul, who was appointed by Christ to teach the brothers and sisters in the New Testament in the schools that he set up, 1 Corinthians 11 and 13. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High. Like, there's an order to things. And this order, the Christian church is so criminally violated our people by teaching sisters mainly to go against the order that the Most High set up. And this order is for the protection of the family. It is to maintain the honor in the family, the strength of the family, not just for your personal, what you feel and your gratification, but this is for all of the future generations of our people, our families. Remember, when the Lord gave us these commandments in Deuteronomy 4 and 6, he said, teach them diligently unto thy children, that they may live a long life, all the days of thy life. Teach them to thy children. This is what we were supposed to have learned. Because of the very institution of Christianity and the same religious leaders that came to interrogate Christ in Matthew the 15th chapter, when the Lord sent him with authority to teach our people, we learned from those Pharisees instead of Christ. You understand? So now, what he's saying, we're going to read it again. Shalakia. For the Lord have given the father honor over the children. Lord put that father over the children. And in addition to, everywhere you see if, and but, pay close attention to what's going on before and after it. In addition to the honor the Lord gave the father over the children. You understand? Because a lot of the fights and things in the relationships, in the marriage and the family, is mommy trying to side with the children over the father's authority. Seen this time and time again, just like most of you have seen this time and time again. If not with your cousins or your nieces or nephews or friends or people at the grocery store or something, there is usually some sister who does not want any man's authority trying to help her with those children. You understand? She's fighting that man for control. Not every sister, but this is a very common thing that you will see more often than not. And it is because of those same religious leaders. Don't put the baby on the outside, sis. Put them on the side away from the street. I got this. You understand? Like it's a demon and a spirit that Christianity and democracy and feminism, all of which is Christianity, has put into a woman to make her believe that she and the kids are here and the man is, wherever, down here somewhere. Because you got money, you got a degree, you understand, you can give your tail away to everybody to have sex with you, and you think that's empowering because that is what the serpent taught Eve in the garden. Women's empowerment. Be diva queen, boss lady. I don't need no in Negro. You understand? Try not to get kicked off of, you understand, TikTok and Twitter. You understand? So I use up some TikTok and friendly words. All right. Don't try. So this is what he's saying. It's a direct precept here. 1 Corinthians 11:3. This is still a part of the old, so-called Old Testament before Christ comes on the scene. This is the books taken out of, just like we mentioned before. All of this is originally a part of the Bible. It still is. The Lord gave the mother authority over the sons, over the children. You understand? The Lord gave the honor over the children. You understand? Why is it written like this? Because the majority of the time, the kids are usually going to be with mom. Until the boy gets a certain age, then you have to get that boy away from mommy. Because of how destroyed our society is, especially with the tribe of Judah, which has been mentioned many times, that has been taught to us by Commander General Yohana, because of the destruction of our family being so close to our oppressor. You understand? For most cases with the tribe of Judah, it's usually just mommy and her children, or mommy and the son, and then in a weird, destructive way, that son ends up becoming the man for mommy. You've seen that in Chicago. The brother in Chicago is having a breakdown. He yelling. Everybody else in the carryout is tired. Mommy is barking over top of the man. Nigga, what? I don't care. You ain't gonna do nothing to me. You don't scare me. I don't care. Son, go to the car and get the gun. Like, she don't have the right spirit because our people are destroyed. She's been put in an unnatural position, and the Lord wants to correct that unnatural position that sisters have been put in, and that spirit that has been put on sisters because of this unnatural position. That's why the Lord sent the disciples to set up schools the same way he sent Paul to set up schools, so that the brothers and sisters with these same situations that the entire nation is going over, they'll be able to come and get under the authority of the prophets so that they can get the education and have the spirit of the Lord to protect them and direct them, because they don't have a father. They don't have a husband. They don't know what's a wise versus a wrong decision. All of this is built into making sure that the children know you have a responsibility. You are not free to do whatever you want. You are not free to live life however you want, to decide whatever you want to. You can be anything you want when you grow up. Whatever you put your mind to it, nobody can stop you. Once you get your own money, once you get your own place, this is a famous one. Mother said, once you get out of my house, you can do whatever you want. If you paying for this, you can buy whatever you want. Once you get your own, you can make any decision you want. That's wrong. And that comes from oppression. And we learn to say these things because of Christianity. Do you know the other nations of people don't put their children out at 18? Your 18-year-old is just as dumb as they were when they were 17 years old. They didn't get any smarter. They just got old enough to be tried as an adult and to go to war and get blown up. That's all. Guess what? Your 19-year-old isn't that smart either. Neither is your 20-year-old. Neither is your 21-year-old. How much wisdom does the average 21-year-old have? Anybody know some really, really, really wise 21-year-olds who was super smart at 18 and 19 and 21? I'm not talking about SATs and passing standardized tests. You understand? Who was super smart and intelligent who had life figured out at 19, 18, 20, 21? Raise your hand. Put up a 1 if you were the best 21-year-old that in your entire city or county. Everybody put a 1 in the chat. If you weren't the brightest as a teenager or a 20-year-old, put up a number 2. Let's just see. I want to just give everybody an opportunity to just type in so we can get a general consensus to see, how wise a late teenager and an early 20-year-old is. Just type in. I'm going to give everybody a few moments. And we're going to read this scripture again. All right. Like the Lord did not, like life is not just putting you out there to see how you fare in the jungle. You understand? That's not how life is. That's how captivity is. And because let's not get ahead of it. Let's just keep going. Y'all give me the 1s and the 2s. Let me see who paid attention in here. Just let me know. I'm gonna check it in a minute. We're gonna keep reading. All right. We talked about honor thy mother and father. We're gonna read verse 2 again, Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 and verse 2. For the Most High have given the father honor over the children. The children are supposed to honor their father. You understand? And have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. The mother's supposed to be an authority over the sons. How do you become a mother and a father? Sex makes babies. It's a very confusing concept if you are a Christian, but I know that most of our people have been raised in Christianity, and I need to make sure that everyone is clear. Sex makes children. Don't ever think for a moment that you will go and have sex with someone. If you are a man, you can only have sex with women. If you are a woman, you can only have sex with a man. Neither of you can have sex. You cannot have sex if you are a man with a woman that already has a man. If you are a woman, if you have a man, you cannot have sex with another man. I want to make sure that that's clear. There's a lot of confusion because of the Christian church. Now, do not ever have sex with anyone that you do not intend to have children with. It is the absolute shock of the century. Every time a brother and sister that did not intend on having a baby lay down and have sex together, and you'd be so shocked that you end up pregnant. Sex makes babies. I know the church and the Immaculate Conception and the Tooth Fairy and Santa and the Easter Bunny and night watch service and Sunday morning worship has failed to teach you the basics of life, but sex makes babies. If you have sex with anyone that you do not want to make a child with, you are a dummy. Capital D-U-M-M-M-M-M-Y. You are a dummy. Sex is permanent. You cannot undo it. Plan B or no plan B. Morning after or no morning after pill. Not interested anymore. Condom, no condom. Sex is marriage. It's permanent. And it is a life and death decision. If you violate the Most High's rules on his laws on marriage and sex, he will put you to death. It happens all the time, especially the teenagers, especially during the summer. You understand? And around all the holidays, happens all the time. You understand? Just so we can make clear on what he's talking about, father and mother. So let's keep going. Verse 3. All right, Most High in Christ, we got 2s. Okay, so the 20s and the teenagers we're not the brightest in the world. All right, so now, verse 3. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. How you deal with your father, the Lord takes that very personal. Not how you deal with a good father, not how you deal with a father who taught you how to play basketball and ride your bike. Whoso honoreth his father. How do you honor your father? We're going to find out. You understand? The Bible is not magic. It's not magic. Serving the Most High is about warfare. It's not about religion. It's not a passive thing. It is an active thing. It's not a thought. It is actions. That's what it takes to love the Most High. That's what it takes to serve and obey the Most High. It requires action. All right. So now the Lord said, whoso honoreth his father, making an atonement for his sins. Verse 4. And he that honoreth his mother layeth up treasure. Meaning, if you honor your mother, you lay up treasure. What does it mean to honor your father and then honor your mother? Hey, shalom, sis. Verse 5. Let's find out. Verse 5. Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy in his own children. You'll have joy in your own children if you honor your father. You understand? If you honor your father, the Lord said you will have joy in your own children. Now, if you honor your father, all right, and he that is obedient unto the Most High, because this is a commandment from God, shall be a comfort to his mother. You honor your father, this will be a comfort to your mother. It'll comfort. How do you honor your father? You understand? We're going to find out. He that feareth the Most High, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the Most High is to keep his commandments. So he that keeps the Lord's commandments, which is feareth the Lord, will honor his father. He that does not steal, that honors your mother and father. Why? Because no one has to say, yeah, your son stole my car. Where is your no good son? Where's your no good son flooding the damn neighborhood with Percocets and weed? You understand? You know, 2 kids just killed themselves, shot up the whole damn playground, getting off the school bus, fighting over those drugs that your son sells. They found another kid overdose with the pills that your son sells, and he's dead. He died at 19. You know, some sister walked out into traffic and got hit by a car. She died in broad daylight because of the pills that your no good drug dealing son sells. Well, that dishonors your father. Sitting in the courtroom, son after son after son, black man after black man after black man, it dishonors your father being a drug dealer. Because the Lord has a commandment, suffer not a witch to live. You aren't allowed to be a drug dealer. That dishonors your father. Being a whore dishonors your father. You understand? That dishonors your father. The father's job is to give away his daughter to the man that is going to take over the responsibilities. That's in a righteous society. That the father is supposed to decide, he is supposed to give his untouched daughter to a man, to get a woman that has never been with another man. You understand? And all of this is in our culture. We would bring the tokens of the damsel's virginity. That blood would be given so that everyone, this is a token of that virginity, that this woman has not been with another man. That is the custom that is supposed to be for our people. Of course, we've taken on our oppressor's custom. And his customs is, you know, everybody do whatever they want. Ring and a piece of paper. You change your mind 6 months later. Everybody just say, I'm tired of it anyway. Like the Lord is in the Bible is restoring our culture, which makes us separate from the other nations. And this is contained. And a huge part of it is starting with honoring your father. There's a responsibility here, so we're going to keep going. What else is honoring your father? You dishonor your father by taking the gods of another nation of people. By being an Arab, being a Muslim, that dishonors the God of our fathers, because the God of our fathers is the Most High. We are not to take the gods of the Arabs and be a Muslim, or the gods of our oppressor and be a Christian, or the customs of another nation of people and shave off your beard, getting dreadlocks in your head. Dreadlocks is the East Indians' custom and the worship of the Hindu goddess Shiva. Smoking weed is the worship of the Hindu goddess Shiva. The Hindus are the East Indians, the ones that own all well, they got Africans in the 7-Elevens now, but the ones that own what else they got? The Subway sandwich shops. I think they done flooded them with Ethiopians now too. The Subway sandwich shops, the Baskin Robbins ice cream stores. You understand? The 7-Elevens used to be them as their franchise. That's their custom. We are not to take the customs of those other nations. pretending to be an African dishonors your father. Wearing those African kente cloths talking about the year of return in Wakanda and Ghana, that dishonors the Most High. Praying to the God of the Arabs dishonors your father, the God of our fathers, our father. Serving another God dishonors your father. What else dishonors your father? Killing his grandchildren. Getting abortions dishonors your father. You understand? That is very dishonorable. He will have no lineage or children to continue his line. To continue the line, you are killing off the line of your forefathers by killing off the babies. Marrying another nation of people dishonors your father. It dishonors all of our fathers. Because instead of continuing the lineage of our people and our families, you now have made a child with another nation of people. You have continued the lineage of the Chinese. You understand? If you're a woman, the man carries the seed. Venus and Serena Williams went and made babies with an oppressor. She discontinued her father's lineage. She didn't go find a black man. She didn't find a brother to continue the lineage of Richard Williams. She found her slave master to go and make babies for him. Eve, she found an oppressor to go and make babies for him. And she dishonored her father. So now that father and that lineage stops with that daughter. She doesn't have the seed of her father's people. She has the seed of our oppressor. And now she will take care of those kids and nurture our oppressor's lineage to continue while stopping her own. That dishonors your father. You understand? So let's get some more. Hey, shalom, shalom. Make sure y'all sign in for attendance. All right. All right. So now we're in Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, and we're going to read verse 6 again. He that honoreth his father shall have long life. You're going to live a long life. You understand? You honor the Most High, and honoring the Most High is keeping his commandments. Your father, the Most High, expects you to keep his commandments. Your fathers are supposed to teach you to keep God's commandments, but because of slavery and captivity, you have learned Christianity and Islam if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American. And you have not learned the heritage of honoring the God of our fathers. But you are here in the Isupk to pick back up the heritage that honors our fathers, that honors our God, the Most High, our power, or our Father who art in heaven, to fix everything that is wrong with our people. All of it ties in together. All right. He says, you shall have a long life if you honor your father. Why will your life be long? Because you won't be robbing. You won't be stealing. You won't be murdering. You won't have sex with another man's woman. These things will shorten your life. You won't be out having the oppressor's celebrations. That'll shorten your life. You won't be voting for your leaders, making the Most High angry. You won't have sex with sisters and throw her away. You understand? Having sex with a brother, having sex with a woman so that you can make her baby daddy angry. Like, ha ha, I'm hitting your baby mama, nigga. Ha ha ha, I'm tearing your woman up. The Lord is going to have, you're going to end up dying. You're going to end up dying in a hail of bullets. It's happening all the time. Those 4 people shot in Newport News, and a quadruple shooting in Norfolk, and a double shooting in Richmond, and 10 people shot within the space of an hour. You understand? Whatever is not drug shootings is over a woman. Entire nations go to war over women, which is why it is so important that the father be very close and diligent over his daughters. You understand? America has taught that your daughter is free to just go and have all the pleasures in the world. The Bible says, she that liveth in pleasure, meaning a woman whose entire life is about what pleases her, is dead while she yet liveth. That's why they're having so many channels on social media talking about how westernized or Americanized women are having so many troubles finding men to be interested in them. But they all talking about, man, don't no man approach me. Men don't talk to me. And now, I got my career and my money and my job. And now I was 30 and this and I had it all. And now I'm 40. And now I'm 50. And now I'm 55. And oh my God, I'm gonna die alone. And it's just me and my cats. And I got sick and nobody's here to take care of me. And I'm tired of being independent. And now they're angry and mad and this. Like the father is supposed to have the authority over the children. He's supposed to make that decision. You aren't supposed to take your simple 19-year-old self out in the world and try to guess and be who would be a good person to make a family with. Like, that's what a society is there for. Ours is so broken, we didn't got wrapped into being Americans, being like our oppressors. You want your teenager to go make the decision. You want your 20-year-old to go make the decision. Like, that's not our culture. You understand? And this is to repair our culture. And this is the heritage is carried by the father. Let's say your father did not teach you this. Most of our fathers did not teach us what's in the Bible. That's why the Lord rose up the prophets to give you the wisdom that the good Father who is in heaven taught to his sons, to teach his sons, to teach his children. This is the knowledge that you're learning. You understand? So let's keep going. And it says, and it we'll be at 3:6. He that honoreth his father shall have long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. The mother will be very comforted. She'll be comforted that she doesn't have to wonder how her son is making out in prison because of all those people that he shot, because of all those drugs that he sold. She's not worried about, where is my car? My son took my car to go joyriding again. My son is out stealing Kias all over. You understand? Like she's comforted. She know her son is in the house. He ain't out robbing and shooting people, sliding all over the city. So she can have comfort. She doesn't have to guess what she's going to do when she gets old. All her sons that died as teenagers running the streets, and the rest of them are in prison, or they got blessed and sanctified and saved. And at no point in time did anybody ever think that they might have to take care of their parents. You understand? That's where the senior citizens home and the old folks home came from. Like, whose culture is that? That's not our culture. That's this oppressor's culture. And we're going to get into it. Verse 7. He that feareth the Most High will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as unto his masters. Will serve his parents. You understand? This is not telling you to break the commandments. There are commandments that the Lord does not allow us to celebrate the feast days that your Christian or Muslim mothers and fathers celebrate. That's not what it's talking about. Do service unto your parents is not helping your mother wrap Christmas gifts and go pick out a tree. You are sinning if you help your mother shop for Christmas gifts. If you go buy her wrapping paper, you're sinning. You help her pick up Christmas presents, you're sinning. If you go grocery shopping for your mother to help her buy the Thanksgiving dinner, you are sinning. Running to the store, getting all the cranberry and turkey, you're sinning. If you join her or join your father or your dad, your uncles for the family Labor Day cookout, the 4th of July celebration cookout, the Thanksgiving dinner, the Mother's Day, Father's Day dinner, the birthday parties, all of those things are against the Most High. The Easter celebration, that's against the Lord. If they want to have a family dinner, you say, well, listen, mom and dad, you know what? We can eat any day, but we can't eat this day because this day is dedicated to the fertility goddess Ishtar. I won't be there for the Easter celebration. That's against the Lord. We can eat next week. We can eat on a Tuesday. Y'all eat on Tuesdays? I'm hungry Tuesday. Let's eat Tuesday. We don't have to eat when our oppressor says it's time to eat. Remember, Christ taught his disciples to be wise as a serpent. You have to be wise because Christians, for the fun of it, will trick you into serving Satan. You understand? They'll trick you into breaking your oath to the Most High, and they'll do it as a joke. You want something to eat? Look, watch this. I heard there's pepperoni in there. I heard it's got some pork in there. What you drinking? You know it's got pork in them greens. They think it's funny until the Lord kills them or gives them a stroke and their foot never works again. But one half of their face doesn't work anymore because eating pork was so goddamn funny. Now they're gone. The Lord laughed last. Ha, ha. Maybe we shouldn't do those things that makes the Lord angry. The Lord get angry, he'll hurt you. He's not mommy. The Lord is a man of war. He's about conflict. So if nobody takes what he says serious, then he sent angels to go hurt people. And that's how we keep getting hurt. So this is what the Lord is teaching, all right? So now we are at verse 8. We're in Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, honor thy father and mother both in word, honor them in what you say. Don't join anyone talking bad about your father, your mother. Your father is on drugs or he wasn't there. You don't know your father. Don't join in someone trashing your father. Your father's dishonor does not make you better. It's no glory unto you to trash your father, trash your mother. You see this? You see this here? This is my dad falling out, peeing on himself. He drunk, throwing up. This all. I remember a sister showed me this picture. It was disgusting. I was young and her children were even younger. And it was abusive. It was hateful. It was evil. It was Christian. And she showed pictures, Polaroid pictures. Back in the day when you had a phone. Phones didn't take pictures back then. She had pictures, Polaroid Kodak film, if y'all old enough to remember that, pictures of liquor bottles that her children's father drunk. And she kept pictures, Polaroids of the pictures to show her toddlers and her babies. You see this here? Your daddy wasn't never anything. This is daddy's liquor bottles. See this? This picture here, this picture here, this picture here. This is daddy's liquor bottles. He ain't never did SHIT for us. He wasn't worth a damn. You want to go see your father? You want to go be with your daddy? You want to be with that nigga he left? He ain't do nothing for us? That's evil. You cannot be that way, sister. You cannot be that way. You will destroy your children. God will make sure that you do not enjoy your children. You dishonoring your man, your head, dishonors your father and his father. Imagine you send your children out into the world. Your children are a reflection of what you taught them. They're supposed to be. Even if they don't do what you say, that is still representing you. And this is a very lost concept, that your children don't know that they represent their mother and father. The father puts the emphasis on how you represent us. Mommy will let anything slide. You're always mama's baby. Mama knows your heart. Mommy gonna love you no matter what, no matter how many people you rob, how many people you shoot, how much dope you sell out the house, how many hoes you sneak in one door and out the other. Mommy gonna love you no matter what. You always mommy's baby. Mommy always got your back. Right or wrong, mama on your side. That's church. And that is by default the nature of a woman. It is important to have a man who is not a woman, whose life is not about feelings and emotions, that can put aside how everyone feels to keep order, law, rules, right and wrong. I don't care how mad you get, boy. You can't go and just walk around hitting and attacking people because you're upset. You think you're the only person to get upset? Suppose I get upset. I'm upset right now that I'm sitting in this office about you fighting another pair of kids. Suppose I get upset and punch you in your face. Suppose I get upset and start throwing a damn temper tantrum, flipping stuff and throwing stuff across the damn classroom like I don't have any sense. Daddy can fix that. And daddy doesn't have to punch everybody. You understand? Daddy doesn't have to throw desks across the table to fix that. Daddy can fix that as a toddler. But mommy will cultivate that bad behavior because mommy wants to be comforting. She wants to love and hug the problem away. And for sisters to understand, you are not supposed to be the disciplinarian. You aren't made to be a drill sergeant. You cannot do that to your sons and your daughters. The only thing you can do is destroy them. You can destroy the masculine spirit inside of your son by you trying to outman him, because there is no man around to keep the natural order that God set up. That's how important these things are. If you do not have one, that is why the Lord set up the prophets of God to be there. You send those sons and daughters to us. We will teach them and you how to righteously deal with these problems and issues. Most of our children and nation is being raised by mommy alone. You understand? Which is why it is so very important that the man be given, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American man be given all of the tools and resources that he needs to take the proper order, place, and authority over his home, over his community, over the resources, over everything that God intended to be under his authority, which includes you, sister, which includes the children, which includes everything in that house, in that community, in those houses, and those communities. You understand? That is what the Lord needs. All right? So that's what the Lord wants. That's how he set it up. Right now, we back at verse 8. He said, honor thy father and mother, both in word and what you say. Don't dishonor them in what you say. And indeed, in your actions, you dishonor your mother and your father. If you are a little boy and you go and put on a dress and a lipstick talking about you a woman, you will dishonor your father and mother. You understand? You are a girl dressing up pretending to be a man so that everyone has to guess, is this just a big brother or is this a sister? What's going on? You know what? You understand? Why is she talking like that? Trying to make people believe that she is a man. He trying to make people believe that he is a woman. That is dishonorable to the Most High, to your mother, to your father. For you sisters that love the LGBT community, without your support, all through elementary school, all through middle school, all through high school, laughing at the jokes, helping the effeminate boys become better women, teaching them how to dance, teaching them, helping them pick out purses, doing makeup for him, complimenting him on his nails and how he dresses, how feminine he is. You helped spur on that LGBT movement that is now two men adopting all the black kids to teach them how to be LGBTQ, abusing the hell out the kids where they get story after story on the news. That dishonors your father. That dishonors your mother. What you don't know is they really despise you. They're next to you so that they can pretend to be you so that they can replace you. That's why they're taking over your sports. They're in the swim team. They're in the basketball league. They're in the boxing ring. Silly Clarissa Shields is talking about she want to fight Mark Thurman so she can get in there and exercise her womanly strength on a man just to find out that a man her size hits much harder than she does. You understand? It's absolute foolishness and it is dishonorable. You have to be taught that what comes out of your mouth can dishonor your people, your father, your mother, the fathers of your community, the mothers of your community, your actions and behavior. You going into the restaurant twerking up on the damn table with your behind in front of a camera everywhere you can get it. You dishonor your mother and father. You doing TikTok challenges, twerking with a baby in the damn crib. You dishonor your children, your mother, your father. Don't do that. There's a lot of that going on. You are not allowed to do that. This society gives you the freedom to do so. You don't have the freedom to do so from God. You understand? So let's keep going. In word and in deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them, that your parents can bless you. You are not supposed to be blessed for bad behavior. You're not supposed to be rewarded for skipping school and getting straight F's and getting caught with weed in your locker. And then you get all the new Xboxes and PlayStations and Jordans and everything you've ever wanted. You understand? You're not supposed to be rewarded. You're supposed to be punished for bad behavior. In this evil society, America rewards the bad behavior. You getting high on the camera, you understand America's going to reward you with a rap contract. You shooting people, you going to prison, you selling dope, you joining a gang banging, destroying the city, America will reward you. You being a politician, you selling out your people, shaving your face, cutting lines in your head, lying to your people, siding with the oppressor, talking about there's no race problem in America because they've given you money. You're a traitor. You're not supposed to get support. You understand? You're not supposed to be praised. You understand? You aren't supposed to be encouraged to continue on in these steps. That is something the entire society has to change. That's why you are here to learn what the Most High requires. All right. These are the conversations that a father is pouring wisdom into his son so that his son can get a proper education about the world that he is going to inherit and be responsible for the society of his people. You understand? So let's get some more. And blessings may come upon you. Verse 9, for the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children. The blessing of your father will establish the children's house. Why? Because your father, when he dies, you will inherit what your father had. You will inherit what your father has when he dies. The car will go to you. The house will go to you. The lands. We are supposed to have an inheritance to pass down to our children. Again, because of captivity, because of slavery, because of religious leaders, because of politicians, we don't have inheritance to pass to our children. Our people don't even have life insurance. As soon as somebody dies, everybody at the house fighting over whatever. Still in the car, still in the trucks, taking the lawnmower, taking the pictures, going through the jewelry case, snatching up the jewelry. You understand? Because we as a people don't have the structure the Lord said to put in place so an inheritance can flow the proper way. We don't even know about it because we've been in church singing, beating tambourines, talking about God, and we ain't learned none of the rules that God actually put in the Bible so that we don't have a rat race and a struggle for survival every single generation. You understand? This once again is the wisdom that this wise father is teaching to his sons because God wanted him to tell his sons this. All right. Okay. So where we at? Verse 10. It says, the blessing of the father establishes the house of the children, the houses, plural, of the children. What your father has established, that father is establishing things. When you become a father by having children. You have children, you and your wife or you and your wives, because a man can have more than one wife according to the Most High, like our forefather Jacob. He had 4 wives. That established the house of his children. He obeyed the Most High. He's able to teach the wisdom of the Most High to his children. Now he has sons and daughters. Those sons will continue that family lineage. The land that he has, that he worked for, those sons will now live and multiply on that land. The goats and the sheep and the cattle, the same things that we have to go to a grocery store because of a curse for being in captivity, for water, for food, for clothes. Before that, we got our clothes from our goats, our sheep, our cattle, our oxen, our buffalo, you understand, corn husks to make, all kind of clothes and denim and sewing and things like that. That's what we wore. That is an inheritance that now your children know how to make clothes. They know how to skin a deer. They know how to skin and kill and slaughter a buffalo or a goat. This is what everyone is working for, a place to live. Now an inheritance, if you know how to build houses and you worked, that gets passed to your children. The knowledge that you have gets continued on to your children. So now I, as one man, may have been limited to what I can do. You understand? But now I got a son and this brother got a daughter. So now I marry one of my sons, marries to this brother's daughter, and this brother does electrical work. He know how to wire things and make sure electricity flow through. He mess around and get 4 or 5 sons. And now my grandsons learning this trade from this electrical skills from this brother that I married one of my sons to his daughter. Next thing you know, we come 20 years, 30 years down the line, it might be dozens of us. You understand? 15, 16 of us, let alone if he got a couple of other daughters, a couple of other wives he got, before you know it, it might be 40, 50 of us. Our forefather Jacob had 14 children. He had sons and daughters. When we went into Egypt, it was 70 of us. We became so powerful in Egypt that they started to kill our babies because they were afraid that we would overthrow them. That's the blessing of the Father establishing the houses of the children. Like, this is how the Lord set it up. All right. And this is how you have and wield power in the earth. So now he said, the blessings of the Father establisheth the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. What is it talking about, the curse of the mother? If that same mother decides to leave that father, or she decides that she ain't happy with this. I know I got this house. I got these children. I know that most people would kill for my life, but I'm not fulfilled. I'm not happy. This is boring. I'm tired of having sex this way. I'm tired of eating these same old foods. I'm tired of driving this car. Yeah, it's paid for. Yeah, I'm taken care of. I don't really want for nothing, but I want to experience the adventure. I want to be like the people I see on TV, in the Tyler Perry movies, in the Lifetime and Movie Network. I want to go live that life. And that mother decides that she divorces her husband. You can go on YouTube and listen to these stories night and day. Now, the father then worked. He got a job. He went and got married according to what, the world society deems that marriage is. He didn't invest in time and made a family. He didn't build this thing so that he can establish this family so that something can be passed on to those children. But in the middle of this, the mother just decides she don't want to do it. She's going to file for divorce. This evil society gives her the power to leave her man. She takes this man's kids away and goes to be with another man. Now, the house, she might get the house. They might have to sell the house. Everything this man worked for has uprooted this foundation. It's gone. The children that he's teaching and raising, that's being raised with both parents, now they become the children of a single mother. Now he got to go and work out a custody deal. The damn children are ransomed. Now she wants child support. These kids was in the house with their father and mother, seeing an actual family, which most Black and Hispanic children don't ever get to see. But she decided she didn't want to do it no more. She want happiness. She want what God has for her is for her. She want to be fulfilled and have a career and boss up. Well, she destroyed this whole family. Now it's other men around her kids, not the father. She got strange men around. Now, instead of them being with mom or dad in their home, now they live somewhere else. They live in an apartment. Dad's job, his credit is shot. He got to pay her a fee every month. And if she don't want him to see the kids, she can just, make the sad face, go to court. The judge will side with her. He has to pay her. She divorces him. She gets a check damn near forever. She gets child support guaranteed. The kids is cutting up, acting a fool, because that's what happens to most single moms. That's who in the street shooting everybody, selling dope, gang banging all in your city. It's in the Bible. If you don't believe me, it's in Isaiah 3 and 12. And now what happens? She's looking for happiness and fulfillment, but she can't find it because happiness is not a real, tangible thing you can base life on. She don't feel fulfilled. So this man ain't going to work and that man ain't going to work. But she bring these men around her sons and daughters. And not all of these are good people. She don't know what's a good man and not a good man. She's following her feelings. She brings the Christian man and the religious man and the get money man and the pimp and the homosexual and the child molester and the dope dealer. All of these different people she's exposing her children to, that they have been removed from that father. They've been removed. The head that the Lord put over her has removed from her. She took it off. She don't want that man ruling over her. She want to be in charge. So now everything about the order and the structure that comes from a man being in charge, the security, the correction, the safety, all of those things, they are gone. Now the children got to learn on their own, if they ever learn. Like, this has uprooted everything that the Lord had set up. And this is what is happening amongst our people. You understand? Then she might, who knows what happened? Who knows where it goes from there? But the stability that the Lord had intended gets uprooted. That's what it's talking about. It says the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. She gonna have kids with this other man. You understand? Now, where's this kids? They got a whole bunch of separate families in the same household. Like, these people could be in danger. She leave one man, this man might actually love her. She out being with other men. Next thing you know, they fighting, breaking doors, fighting in the house, fighting in the yard, shooting at each other on the holidays. And it happens all the time in the Black and Hispanic community. All the time. You listening to it right now. If you open your windows and wait for the gunshots to be fired, that's what you're listening to in every city. Portsmouth, Newport News, Richmond, Lynchburg, Roanoke, Woodbridge. You listening to it every single night. This is what the Bible is talking about. Like, the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Now the house gets sold. Your children will be looking to find a place to live. From teenagers to young adults, finding a house, trying to get established, trying to build up the credit report when they're supposed to inherit this house. When the two incomes from mother and father is supposed to help you get on your feet so you can start your family. But all of that foundation is gone. Now everybody's struggling just to do anything. Like, the Lord never set it up for that way. You understand? Verse 10, it says, glory, it says, glory not in the dishonor of thy father. Don't be happy about dishonoring your father. My daddy wasn't there. Here's a popular. My mother was my dad and my mother. My mother was my father and my mother. That's dishonorable to your father. Don't do that. If you've never met your father, you've never been around your father, you understand, whatever, the dishonoring of your father is not something God approves of. God will be angry at you for dishonoring your father with your words. Don't do that. Learn to keep your mouth shut. You understand? There's some things where you should not have your mouth closed about. There are many things that our people say that they should not say, because this society gives you freedom of speech. God does not give you the freedom to say whatever you want, to do whatever you want, dress however you want. That's against the Most High. You understand? You should have restrictions and barriers about your conduct and your behavior. You understand? It says, for the father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. You trashing and bashing your father is not glorious to you. That doesn't make you look good. If you come from a father with all of these problems that you're telling everybody, that makes you look worse. That doesn't make you look better. It makes you very dishonorable. You think the Chinese and the Arabs and East Indians don't have problems with their fathers and their family? You think they're going to get on the streets and on the internet and start telling you about how bad being in a Nigerian family is, and how bad it is being in an Iraqi or an Afghan family, or how much problems and stress they got in a Japanese or a Korean or an East Indian family? Hell no, they ain't going to get on the internet, some damn social media podcast trashing their father and their people, because they are not individuals. They function as a nation. And because they don't do that, their nation has businesses in our communities where we don't. We pay rent to them. We buy clothes from them. We get sandwiches and sub shops from them, not from us. The Lord is telling us how to have power, how to be princes and princesses of the Most High, of the power. These are the instructions on how it is done. You understand? So he says, the Father's glory unto thee. The glory of a man is from the honor of his father. Your glory as a man is from the honor of your father. You become some great, the genetics that you get comes from your father. Your nationality comes from your father. You are an Israelite because of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The glory that you have comes from Moses and King David and Daniel and the prophets and Christ and the disciples, the apostles. The Lord, the God of our fathers, gave us this honor. He put his honor on us and made us this people. You understand? You are pretending to be a Muslim because of the honor that Muhammad had amongst his followers. You are pretending to, you are being a Christian like the white man because of the honor and the murder that the white man and his forefathers did. King Leopold and King Napoleon Bonaparte in France and Rome and Greece and the founding fathers of America and the white man from Spain and Portugal and the conquistadors. That glory comes from their fathers. That's why you are taking their language. That's why when you come into the truth, you need to be in the Hebrew language class every Friday to learn the Lashon Kodash, to put on the honor of your fathers. You understand? And a mother in dishonor, a dishonorable mother, a mother that's worn herself out, selling her body all on the street, like Keke Palmer, in dishonor is a reproach to the children. That's dishonorable. You understand? I remember Vlad TV interviewed some sister, and it was some porn star. Sister's talking about it. She said, damn, well, what about your son? What about, yeah, he be getting in fights and stuff, and but he's strong. He's strong, and this and that. And you know what? He just gotta understand, mommy, gotta go to work, gotta make the money. Like, that dishonors your children doing that. Keke Palmer has permanently dishonored her children. Cardi B has permanently dishonored her children. You understand? She throwing a goddamn tampon at the concert. You understand? She playing songs that she's selling to your daughters. And then what does she say? I don't want my daughter listening to my music. Like, your naked behind is all over the internet. How would your daughter know? What classroom do you think your little girl is going to be in where everybody not going to know Cardi B? How can you come to the back to school night and everybody don't know this is Cardi B sitting in the classroom? Like, you've dishonored your child. They can't get from underneath of that. That's permanent. That's never going anywhere. Who else? Young Miami from City Girl. She says she is a whore. W-O-R-E. Smiling, simple as hell. She said, well, do you want your daughter to be a city girl? My daughter not going to be a city girl. She's not going to be like me. Like, how is your daughter not going to grow up to be like you? Is she going to be raised by wolves? Are aliens going to raise her? Is she going to be sent, somewhere to learn how to be a ninja? Where are you going to raise a nigger baby that's not going to know about the city girls? The kids know. The school know. The teachers know. The principals know. Social media knows. The internet knows. How do you think your daughter is magically not going to be you? Like, this is what the Bible is talking about. A dishonor is a reproach to the children. You understand? Verse 12. My son, help thy father in his age. When your father gets old, help him. Help him in his age. And grieve him not. Don't grieve him as long as he lives. Help him when he's old. You understand? There was a time when you could not walk, and he had to help you move those little legs until they got strong. You couldn't get anywhere. Someone had to pick you up and carry you everywhere because you couldn't move on your own. They set you down, you're just dead. You flip over, you're stuck. You're on your back, you're stuck. You're drooling on yourself, you're peeing on yourself. You understand? You got to be picked up and washed and cleaned and fed and carried everywhere. But one day you get stronger. One day you get teeth. One day you get hair. One day you learn how to work those arms and work those little legs. Now you can hold a spoon and a fork. Now you can feed yourself. Now you can hold your own bottle and your own sippy cup. Now you don't need to pacify. Now you can talk. You can use your words instead of crying and whining. Now you grow. You get stronger. You understand? Well, there was someone there to make sure that that happened. There was someone there to make sure that you didn't die You understand? And now you are supposed to make sure that you are there. Even if your father was not there. Most of our people did not grow up with their fathers. And that's a very big thing. That is not supposed to be that way. This evil society did something. Do not hate your father because he was not there. This society has done America, the church, Dr. Phil, Oprah, billionaires, government think tanks worked for centuries to make sure that they separated Black, Hispanic, and Native American fathers from their children, from their wives, so that the children did not grow up with families. That's why they on the border putting babies in dog cages and sending them to prisons where they claim they lost them all across America. Tens of thousands of Hispanic babies they just sent somewhere and lost in some underground laboratory facility that the government swear they don't know where the hell they are, that they done sold them to some, some group somewhere. You understand? Like they sought to do this. They did it in Egypt. They did it when the damn Romans were ruling over us in Christ's day. They've always done this to our people. The Arabs did it during slavery when they were castrating the young boys to make them watch over the harems as they was pimping out everybody's mom and aunts during the sub-Saharan African slave trade, the Arab Islamic slave trade throughout the Sahara. You understand? So they've always done this. And the Lord wants us to put our spirits back together so that we can take on his spirit again. It says, help thy father in his age. Don't grieve him as long as he live. If his understanding fail, he start forgetting things. He don't remember as much as he used to. He keep losing his keys. He don't remember if he ate or not. You understand? Have patience with him. You understand? He might need you to take him to the bathroom. He getting old. He don't see as well. He might not remember if he ate anymore. He don't remember. Did you eat? Did you take your medicine? He might need you to take him to the doctors. He might need you to be, the custodian over and make sure that he eat. He might not be able to live on his own anymore. He might need you to come and check on him on a regular basis. You understand? Like these things are very important, and they are important to the Most High. And you have to keep these things in mind because these are commandments that you are supposed to learn as you are young. When you learn not to steal, when you learn not to kill, not to murder, not to hate your brother in your heart, not to take revenge against the children of your people, not to have marriages with the other nations of people, or serve another god, or celebrate the customs and the religious things of another people, like Christmas and Ramadan and birthdays and Halloween and Valentine's Day. Right now, there are little kids, little babies, 4, 5, 6 years old in the Isupk that they have learned not to have Valentine's Day and Christmas, while all the other kids in their classroom are having Christmas. They've learned not to stand and pledge allegiance to the flag, while all the other babies in the classroom rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. They have learned to not do that, to not get Christmas presents, not get Valentine's Day cards, not get Halloween candy, to not say Happy Easter and Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving. They have learned to stand with the Most High. And this is a part of learning that you are supposed to learn as a baby, that one day you may be called upon by the Most High to take care of your mother, to take care of your father. You may need to wash them one day, to bathe and clean them one day, to prepare food for them one day, to get their medicine for them, to push them in a wheelchair, to be the eyes for them when their eyes don't work as well, to cut their food up when they can't cut their food up anymore. You understand? To look out for their health and set up their doctor's appointments when they cannot do it anymore, to manage their accounts and affairs when they are no longer able. You understand? Like this is what God requires. This is what it means to honor thy mother and father. You understand? It says, my son, help thy father in his age and grieve him not as long as he liveth. You understand? If you have the ability to do so, you are required to do this. Don't go stick your parents in some old folks' home. You understand? They sitting there staring out the window, some big African nurse body slamming people, breaking ribs, they abusing, sexually assaulting people. They can't halfway think. drugged up out of their mind, don't know where they are, what year it is, teeth falling out, hair ain't done, nails ain't getting taken care of, all kind of bad sores and things on them. You are supposed to do this. You are supposed to make sure they're taken care of. You are required by God to do this. You understand? You are required. This is what God requires of the children to do for their mothers and fathers. You understand? This is the first commandment with promise from the Most High. All right, let's keep going. If his understanding fail, have patience with him. Despise him not. Don't hate him when you are at your full strength. Now that you strong, don't despise him because he don't move quick no more. His football days are over. He don't run and jog track no more. He don't remember which way it is no more. Now that you can walk, you tough and strong and full of health and good blood pressure and good eyesight and good bladder and hips and heart and all of that, well, be patient with your father. You understand? Dad take a long time to get everywhere. You're going to forget your keys. You're going to forget this. You got to do this a second time before we leave. He don't remember where the wallet is. Let me check to make sure the appointments is right. I don't remember. What time is it? Don't worry about it. I already checked. Well, call her to make sure. I already called to make sure. Come on, let's go. I understand. Be patient with them. These are the important things to God. Not sitting in some church beating some damn tambourine every Sunday while your mother, you blessed and highly favored, your mother's sitting in the old folks' home getting her purse ran through, her credit card stolen, body slammed, beat up by the nurses. The room ain't being cleaned. She got bed sores on her. You talking about Jesus, Jesus, waving your silly hand instead of going there taking care of your mother because you didn't like your mother. Your mother was never kind to you. She didn't say the wonderful, nice things to you. You got to get out of Christianity. Life is not about what is sweet and happy is pleasant. It might be sad you having to deal with and watch your mother or father wither away and not be strong like you remember them your whole life. But you are required to do so. Someone else is not supposed to have the full charge and care over your parents. You are supposed to be there. Maybe you can't because of your distance, because of your work schedule, but these are things that are important for you to remember. God requires this of the children. You understand? Remember that. All right. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. For the relieving of thy father, you relieving him, you understand, shall not be forgotten. He shouldn't be on the streets pushing himself in no wheelchair. You understand? The relieving of thy father will not be forgotten. The Lord said he won't forget that. And instead of sins, instead of all that evil, wicked stuff that you're doing, instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up. The Lord said that will build you up. The Lord said he promised that will build you up for doing this. Verse 15, in the day of thine affliction and your trouble, it shall be remembered. The Lord said he will remember it in that day. Thy sins, your sins also shall melt away as the ice in fair warm weather. You understand? He that forsaketh his father, he that just say, man, you on your own. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't my father. Ain't never been no father to me. Yeah, I know he jammed up. It's one thing if you don't know who your father is, you don't know who your father is. Of course, you can't do these things. You don't know where he is. Half of our people or more do not know their fathers. You understand? Didn't get a chance to meet him, might be dead, might be in prison. Your mother might not know who he is. Like our nation is in bad shape. But these are things that we are all supposed to know this and be mindful because we're repairing our nation. That's what being in the truth is about. That's what getting in the Isupk is extremely important, to repair and build our nation. So this will be the standard for our society so that no more future generations of our sons or daughters end up with these curses. We end up having things be done the proper way that the Lord always wanted them to be done. You understand? And he that angereth his mother is cursed of the Most High. You understand? Like, this is what the Lord is talking about. Don't do that. Don't do these things. Like, the Lord requires, oh, some out of bar Louise. Okay, Most High Christ. Like, the Lord requires these things to be done. Like, God wants you to, your life can't just be about you and your pleasure and your happiness and what makes you feel good. It might not be pleasant and happiness. Guess what? Taking care of you as some toddler, you weren't always pleasant and happy. Your parents wanted to go to sleep. You didn't. Your mother and father, they wanted a nap. You didn't want a nap. They wanted you to eat these vegetables and take your medicine. You didn't want the medicine. You threw the vegetables. You understand? They needed to be able to take care of your brothers and sisters too. You didn't care nothing about that. You whined and yelled and threw a temper tantrum, and they trying to do your hair, and you putting your hands all in there and trying to wash your face, and you kept turning your head around, and they trying to put your shoes on. You take the shoes off, throw the damn shoes across the room. You weren't pleasant to be around all the time. Life is not about your happiness and your pleasure, and everything is nice and sweet and smell good and look good and has a wonderful music playing in the background. That's not reality. And our people have gotten so far from reality, being in our oppressive society, thinking that it is always someone else's responsibility, that I'll pray about it. You are supposed to be the answer to someone's prayers. We don't have prayer warriors in the ISUPK. You understand? The purpose for people praying is for someone to come and be the answer to their prayers, not you vote and hope whoever you vote in is going to answer the prayers. This is your responsibility. Of course, you don't know that because you're in the world and you are not in the ISUPK, which is the truth, the body of Christ, so that you can learn what the Lord requires of our people. The resources that God has given to take care of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they are in the hands of the people that God does not want them to have. And as a result, our people are destroyed, our families are wiped out, and they're homeless, and our cities are being taken apart. Billions of dollars are in the hands, bank accounts, and pockets of the religious leaders to make sure that every elder, sickly, ill, senior citizen, mother or father, not even an elder, your parents could get into a car accident and wreck and not be able to walk right anymore. Lose your mental faculties, fall ill, and end up bedridden for an extended period of time. Like, we supposed to have a nation that can cover ourselves, not to be at the mercy of our oppressors. And preachers have stolen that away from us. And this is how we get it back. So with that, you understand, we're going to end it there. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. All right. Priest and Captain 10,000, not the Isupk Shah. Make sure that you pay your tithes. Go to isupk.com. Make sure you pay your tithes, like and share, subscribe. So stay tuned. Our next class is going to be on Friday. The Hebrew language class, Lashawan Kodash. Make sure that you're in there. Learn the biblical Hebrew every Friday. Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe on these videos. You understand? And with that, I write to the brothers. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatham. To the sisters, Yahweh Shemar Alathan Bashim Yahushua. Make sure that you call whatever ISUPK school, whatever city or state that you are in. Make sure that you call, get in contact with the school. I know we're watching classes and everything online. The Lord is closing the doors on America very soon. World War III jumping off. A lot of things are going to change. The American currency is about to take a nosedive. Between the West African civil wars that's opening up, China and Russia and BRICS, all of the currencies and trading and oil and everything might be switched to another country's currency, which will drastically drive up the prices for everything. And they use as an excuse to shut down stores and grocery stores and gas stations. And just like that, you'll be back in the 40s. You understand? Do not wait to get into the ISUPK and contact whatever city and school is nearest to your state or location so that you can check in and get all the way into this body. because this place is about to crumble. And with that, shalom. Lord be with y'all.